Now I don't hate that. Do not hate that.
Last week we left off with a low spot in the hull and a lot of holes in the cockpit. This week, Andy finishes fiberglass projects and starts on our new Salon shelves.
So I only got a few high spots here and there, so I'm going to probably knock down the majority of the high spots with the angle grinder, then come back in with the orbital sander, smooth it out, and take a good reading for how much I need to actually add to this area here. And then when it warms up today, I can glass it in a little bit more. So I'm just kind of marking here. So this is what the low spot looks like. So we got plenty of glass over here, plenty of glass here, about a quarter inch low in the center. That is quite a bit to fill with filler. Non-existent here. So we come down, gets a little bigger, right there. It's about hard to see in camera, but it's about a quarter inch. And that kind of continues. About here, and it's gone. So in hindsight, I probably should have put a little more glass in here. Instead of 12 layers, I probably should have done like 15 or 16 layers. Oh well. Here's the glass I cut. Big piece and then tapered a smaller piece. Acetone on a towel. So just wipe. Get a new surface to wipe each time. 18 layers. That's what it took.
The old engine gauge spot still needed a little more filling with the thickened epoxy before Andy started layering the fiberglass cloth on top.
So the little bit of filler I put on this morning, it has it's in its like green state where you can overcoat without having to sand, and it gets a chemical bond rather than a mechanical bond. Not very smooth. I think I want to sand it, let it cure fully tonight, and I'll sand it in the morning. Then I can lay out some glass over it tomorrow. It's a pretty visible spot, so I want it to be done nicely. Yes, the boat's now waterproof. That was the important thing to get done before winter. It's not pretty, but it's waterproof. So here's the old instrument holes. Alberg 30s, at least the pre-liner boat like ours does, has these cubbies. They're really deep. You can see my arm goes like all the way down inside of it. It's about 10 inches wide and tapers down slightly at the hull. Because it has this opening here that is like 6 inches to get stuff in there, it is almost entirely useless. This is kind of like a catch-all for junk. So our plan is to fiberglass a board along the top here, and that will kind of create like a shelf area right here so we can actually set some things down that are not going to be on the counter. Icebox are to get into these lockers. So we're going to have a solid top right here. We're going to cut some holes, then we'll get into them from the front, so you'll pop off the backrest push, pop out this piece to get to there. And that should give us a lot more storage. Now, to avoid damaging this nice teak locker here and this handrail here, I'm going to remove this so I can, when I fiberglass this in, but I do have to grind paint off of the hull here. I'm just going to fiberglass the top surface. We have a batten I'm going to install on this side to support the front edge or the inboard edge of the panel going on top. Really not structural or anything like that. So I'm going to leave like a 3/8 to 1/4 inch gap around the board where it comes to the hull, because this is a solid hull. There's no pouring or anything like that. It's a 3/8 to a 1/2 inch solid fiberglass. And if you have a solid hull like this, you take a bulkhead, you rest it right up against it, you fiberglass it in, you can get a hard spot where like you'll actually be able to see on the outside where you fiberglass that bulkhead in, because as the boat flexes, it will kind of like read through a little bit. So by leaving that gap, the tabbing is going to come up on the hull down onto the border here. That will have a little bit of give in it, and that'll prevent any hard spots on the outside of the hull. Got everything ground back where I'm gonna end up tabbing into that shelf. There's a couple little bits of paint here and there, so that's okay. This is not a structural bulkhead. And the next step right here is I'm gonna start measuring how long I need to cut the board to, and then I'll start scribing it into the hull. So this boat's got these center dividers. So my plan is just to have it sit on this level, and then whatever lip we'll have left over.
Public service announcement. You are about to see Andy use his jigsaw in a variety of ways. You should never use a jigsaw. Please don't do what he's about to do at home. Be smart, don't cut toward yourself, and don't use yourself as a surface.
Alright, so I cut this piece of wood right here to 2 5/8, which is the same as that gap, our biggest gap. So now I can just come around the hull and scribe on how much. I'm not sure if it stands out too much on camera, but you can see a nice curved line that matches the hull. So I'm going to cut this out. Alright, now I need to figure out where I'm going to put these openings for the cubbies so you can get to it. I'm just going to use an existing cover as a template so that everything is the same size. And I'm thinking it's going to go around somewhere around there, and that should work decently well. Now I don't hate that. I got some 1x2 that we're going to install as like a support, front support for the front edge. So I'm going to screw these boards in.
All of this fiberglass has to cure, so we're going to leave it here, and next week, Andy removes all of the chain plates, finds a mess in our lazarette, and makes a final attempt to remove an old radar mount. Will he succeed? Tune in next time.